forced sale of TikTok? Oh, wow. The land of freedom of speech strikes again. TikTok there's a forced sale. We're going to get into the details and why. I think it's because they don't want people seeing what's actually happening in parts of the world where there's wars. Weird. These young people, they're not following the narrative of corporate media. Yeah, because anyone with a smartphone can just say, this is what's happening. They're dropping bombs here. This is what's going down. And and then people watch CNN and go, oh, we're not hearing the same thing. CNN and Fox and ABC, they're all compromised. And so got to shut TikTok down. So this was just, this Glenn Greenwald posted this. I got a lot of respect for Glenn. I don't agree with him on everything, but I got a lot of respect for him as an independent journalist. And this is also in the WikiLeaks, which, so this is Glenn Greenwald, easily one of the most consequential yet overlooked events of 2025. Larry Ellison, the mega billionaire, Oracle founder, and the IDF's largest private donor, wow, follow the money, connect the dots, is now taking control of CBS, Paramount, TikTok, and likely CNN. He won't just control content, but also user data. So he's going to find out who's watching what. So this is from WikiLeaks. Israel-aligned billionaires seize TikTok and battle for U.S. narrative control. The White House has announced that the forced sale of TikTok will be finalized this week. So, you know, and they've tried so many things with, oh, it's the Chinese are trying to push propaganda, but you go on TikTok and you hear and see things that you don't see on the other platforms. And it's like, wait a minute, you know, here's you know, Doctors Without Borders in Gaza, and we're getting bombed at a hospital, and there's no Hamas here. And it's like, whoa, well, this is different than what I'm hearing on the mainstream media. So they have to control the narrative. And this big tech companies, why I don't like tech, you know, unelected tech billionaires are determining who has freedom of speech and who doesn't. This is why this is such a threat, right? The White House has announced that the forced sale of TikTok will be finalized this week. The new ownership led by Larry Ellison, the largest individual donor to the IDF. Geez, so he has that's a conflict of interest. Again, people, oh, you're anti-Semitic. No, it's not anti-Semitic. It's a foreign country. If he was the largest contributor to India's army, to Pakistan's army, I mean, if he was the largest supporter of, you know, Syria's army, would we allow this to happen? Look, I'm an Irish American. I'm an American of Irish descent. If he was giving money to the Irish government, and let's say Ireland was using U.S. tax dollars and private support from billionaires to, the Irish country is largely Catholic, was like bombing Protestants in northern Belfast. I, as an Irish American and former Catholic, I don't support the religion that protects pedophile priests. I have a problem with. I know, I'm a stickler. I get so bent out of shape over these little things like protecting kids. Weird. Yeah, Trump, the Epstein files empty. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a sec. But if the United States was giving Ireland money to bomb and wipe out Protestants in northern Belfast, I would be against it. So it's not even about Israel. It's about a foreign country is dictating what politicians in both parties are doing. I'm against that. I'm an American citizen. Why are my tax dollars going for this? So now we've got a guy that's funded giving money to the IDF. So he has a clear agenda. Just like if someone was giving money to Hamas and they now own TikTok, I believe people would be up in arms. So he's going to take control of U.S. user data, and the algorithm, which the White House says will be retrained. So if you've been watching videos from seeing what's really happening in some part of the world, the Trump White House and this new Larry Ellison guy, they're going to retrain your algorithm. So you're not going to see those videos anymore. Were you supporting independent journalists being in war zone, showing you what's really happening? You're not going to see those anymore. Bye-bye. Ellison, who made his financial fortune developing Oracle, a database system he originally built for the CIA, already controls CBS, Paramount, MTV, Comedy Central, Showtime, Nickelodeon. It's weird, Graham. How come you've never had a show on any of those networks? I don't know. I guess I'm not funny enough. Which makes kid shows, as well as Channel 10 in Australia and Channel 5 in the UK. Ellison is also expected to finalize control of Warner Brothers Discovery, including CNN, HBO, and Discovery Channel before the end of 2025. Guys, this is why I'm working so hard to get like Bitcoin-backed content, is because it's decentralized and there's no Larry Ellison or the White House telling me what I can and cannot say. I was demonetized. I mean, like people are like, Jimmy Kimmel's the canary in the coal mine. No. People like myself and Lee Camp and other comics who have been demonetized, deplatformed. Lee Camp had his whole channel wiped off. The Department of Justice shut down RT. Lee Camp couldn't do a show Redacted Tonight anymore. Even before the forced sale is finalized, censorship of TikTok content critical of Israel, including the deal itself, has reached extreme levels as the platform moves to align with its prospective new owners. Fox, a Murdoch asset, is also seeking to join the Ellison consortium, a move that could enable cross-promotion between Fox and TikTok, further tightening the Israeli-aligned information bubble. Well, TikTok was fun while it lasted, but they've tried to shut this thing down so many times. So if you're a TikTok influencer, I got a TikTok channel at Graham Elwood. It's got 30-some thousand followers. They're going to shut it down. Disapproval of what Israel is doing in Gaza has risen to 60% of the U.S. population, nearly double its approval rate of 32. 60% of Americans. I mean, you just saw, and look, this move that they're like, we got to do something. Look what happened at the Emmys. Javier Bardem was wearing a keffiyeh. This young Jewish woman, Hannah, I forget her last name, I showed it on this show. She gave her acceptance speech where she was saying, I'm a Jewish woman and I'm critical of what Israel is doing. So they got to shut down the narrative. We don't live in freedom of speech anymore. Remember there used to be all these people fighting for freedom of speech? I don't agree with what you say, but I'll defend your right to say it. That was a common practice. That's gone. It's gone. I mean, I'm glad Kimmel came back. Give him credit. I saw his opening monologue. He's fighting back. But anyway, this is so the U.S. still has 3 years of Trump left, Israel line. But I mean, the Democrats are bought and paid for by AIPAC as well. So OpenAI, Google, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Palantir, CBS, HBO, and most of Condé Nast, which is Reddit, Vogue, The New Yorker, Wire, GQ, Vanity Fair, as well as numerous Hollywood studios, regional papers, and radio stations. Europe, meanwhile, remains largely absent, offering little real competition in the information space. It's one success story, Telegram, which is managed to comprehensively alienate after France arrested the founder. Oh, man. Decentralized alternatives like Keat and Noster offer strong resistance to censorship, but are still young. Larger platforms like Telegram and RealNote carry serious risks of censorship, including eventual sell-off to other companies. So this is what this guy had to say.
Seriously. Pushing extremists off Wikipedia might not be. We must, you must, take this deadly seriously. Pushing extremists off Wikipedia might not seem equal to the challenge of pushing Hezbollah north of the Litani River. Capturing TikTok might seem less meaningful than holding on to Mount Hermon. Libelous tweets certainly might seem less deadly than missiles from Yemen. But this is urgent because the next war will be decided based on how Israel and its allies perform online as much as offline.
He's just saying it, and he's using the they're attacking us narrative. This is what fascists say. We're under attack. And they have to control the narrative. I mean, dictators always have to control the narrative, and freedom of speech And, we live in a country where comedians are more of a threat than pedophiles. So this is America. This is the United States. TikTok just got co-opted. None of these platforms are safe. I could get pulled off at any time. So thanks for supporting what we do. That's why I say buy Bitcoin, get it off an exchange, put it in a cold wallet. It's the only decentralized, sovereign, free thing you can do in this world. Because the oligarchs, it's like evil is winning. I don't know how else to say it. Evil is winning. But why I'm into Bitcoin is it's hopeful. It can decentralize all these things. So follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. And, buy Bitcoin. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Yeah, go to Nostr, go to some of these other decentralized ones, but shave your knuckles for justice. Thanks for watching. Support what we do before we get yanked again.